We are here at the Floodgate Games booth, and we're going to talk about Epic Resort with the designer and publisher, Ben Harkins. Ben, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. Go ahead and give us a rundown of the game.
Sounds great. This is Epic Resort. In this game, you're a resort owner who's starting with a humble resort of a beach and a tiki hut. As you can see here, you'll be attracting tourists and fantasy heroes to your resort. The fantasy heroes are coming to your resort for their much needed rest, starting with very low health, gaining health at the end of every turn. However, the more that you attract, the more likely monsters will attack from the monster pile. When monsters attack, your hero can defend and protect the tourists, or since they're on vacation, they could jump out of the way, letting the tourists get eaten. So you'll be scoring points for letting heroes get the rest they need, for upgrading your resort, your attractions at your resort, each worth some number of victory points. And in order to do all of this, you'll be working from your own deck of workers. You'll be starting with some basic workers that aren't very good at what they do. And you'll be upgrading those over time to more advanced workers with better abilities and more efficient ability to work with. Okay. So that's pretty much the overview. It's going to be the highest scoring player from scored heroes and attractions when the monster pile is depleted will be the winner.
Okay.
So I can go ahead and kind of show you how a turn works here. So I have it set up for 2 players right now, but it does play up to 4. All of the players at the beginning of each round are going to simultaneously start with 5 cards in their hand and assign them to work at their resort. So players will be sending their from their hands, and then this player from their hand, let's say their apprentices, to do work. Now each of these symbols represent units of work, so if you're missing a unit of work, you're going to lose some tourists from there. They'll go back to the supply, and then now you gain resources. We have two types of resources in this game. Flare, that's the blue stars here, and gold. Flare is going to be used to attract people from the dock, other tourists and heroes, and gold is going to be used to upgrade your workers and upgrade your attractions. So the way we look at this is, the more tourists you have on your at your resort, the less flare you're going to get, but the more gold. So nobody likes to come to a crowded resort, but you're making a lot of money. As we read this, we'll look at the leftmost exposed square. 2 flare and 2 gold here. 1 flare and 2 gold here. We'll move over to 3 and 4 on the scoring track, or on the resource track right here. And then all players are going to do that simultaneously, and then we'll move on to the action phase. All of the gameplay starts from the Harbor Master. They're going to be the player who starts every round. You'll take 1 action during each of your turns, and you'll play till you pass. The primary action that you'll perform is attracting from the dock. You can attract a tourist by paying their flare cost, that's the number in the star, and then you get the number of tourists indicated. Some of the tourist cards have specialties, like this one will attract bonus tourists to a particular type of attraction, like an exciting one here from Thrill Seekers. We have a whole bunch of tourists in the general supply, and when you attract them, you can distribute them as you see fit across your attractions. And then that will adjust your possible resources that you'll gain for the next round. Put that in the discard pile. Then the next player would take their turn, possibly attracting a hero, for instance. I'm just going to put it here for example. You'll pay the flare cost, and they start out with some number of hearts. Very low heart value on this one. They're coming to your resort for rest, so they're going to gain 1 of these health at the end of each turn. And then when they gain after they gain their final health, they're going to score at the end of that round. A lot of the heroes have abilities that either trigger when they come into your resort, or when at the beginning of every season.
Okay.
The reason you might want some of these heroes is that at the end of the round, after all of the players pass, we're going to refill the dock, and we might trigger monster attacks. Before I get to that, I'm going to show you that you can also upgrade your attractions. Okay. So we've got something like the Harvest Market or the Canopy Zipline, Rafting Expedition, or one of my favorites is the Slaughter Coaster. And these have abilities where you can, if you have it fully staffed, you can do special things, like the Rafting Expedition gives you 2 turns in a row, or the Slaughter Coaster, for instance, you can basically eliminate all your tourists, but turn them into flare and attract a whole bunch of new ones.
Okay. How do you pick up these bonus locations? You just purchase them? Or?
Yeah, these will be purchased with the gold resource
Okay.
as an action on your turn.
Okay.
Great. So let's say all of the players had passed for the round. It's worth noting that the first player to pass becomes the Harbor Master for the round. And then we're going to refill the dock. So we'll take the oldest card on the dock, and that one goes to the discard pile. That helps keep the game moving along. And then we're going to refill. As we're refilling, we might trigger a monster attack,
Okay.
as indicated here. What we do here is we flip over the top monster of the monster pile. The baby dragon, for instance. He attacks the resort with the most tourists. So that looks like this player right here. Now the card's going to say which attraction they attack. The way this one reads here is they're going to attack the left attraction.
Gotcha.
So the baby dragon would be going here. Now the player has a choice. The hero can stay over here if they want to, or they can jump into the way to defend against the monster. But if the hero defends, they're going to lose health and then go away. So we might not want to do that right now. But if that's the case, now we're going to lose all the tourists. This monster eats one right away, and then attempts to eat 3 more tourists, so it'll eat everything that's there.
Oh.
If you end up with a completely undefended attraction when a monster comes, you're going to take damage, indicated by these. Each attraction can take a certain amount of damage before it's destroyed.
Okay.
So you do want to pay attention to when you're dodging your heroes in and out to protect your attractions. So once we resolve all the monster attacks, we'll keep refilling the dock, and then gameplay will proceed to the next round with your more advanced workers and more advanced attractions.
Okay, cool. And then as the game gets, I see tier 1 on here, so as the game moves along, you get harder and harder monsters.
Oh yeah, there's all sorts of nasty stuff that you end up coming across as you go. Each with different abilities, so you know roughly what to expect. Something's coming to bring the pain, but you don't exactly know what's going to happen or who they're going to attack.
All right. What triggers the end of the game?
When the monster pile is depleted. So one of the nice things about the game is as you're resting the heroes, you can see at the bottom of every hero, when they're scored, they're going to defeat the top monster of the monster pile. So you have a little bit of control over ending the game, but not complete control, which is kind of nice.
Okay. And then you just add up all the points from your heroes, and where else do you get points?
So you'll get points from rested heroes. You'll also get victory points from upgrading your attractions.
Okay.
You have a 3rd attraction slot. We kind of ran out of space here, but you can put a 3rd attraction here
Gotcha.
as you're playing. So you'll end up being in a situation where you're managing quite a few attractions.
Okay.
The one thing I didn't mention earlier is the deck building component.
Yes.
So now, since each player is working from their own deck, as an action you can upgrade some of your workers. The apprentice, for instance, he's probably the most basic of workers, but he can be upgraded to, let's say, the squire. So you would train this worker into another worker. When you do that, this one goes away permanently, and then you get this one in your hand right away. So you start with a really small deck, and your deck stays lean the entire time.
Okay.
Which I think is really cool. Plus, getting them in your hand means you can use their special discard abilities on the turn that you buy them. So that really helps with keeping gameplay moving along quickly and feeling like you get to be effective right away.
And you said that there were some different kinds of workers that will show up here, right?
Yeah, we have 17 different worker types in the game, so you can swap a subset of these in and out and change the gameplay experience from game to game, which is really nice.
Perfect.
The day worker's always in every game.
Okay.
He's kind of cool too because he's free, but you pay for him every round to use him.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, awesome. Thanks, Ben. I appreciate it.
Thank you.